everyone, welcome back to another Renshi Ranks episode. Today I am ranking my favorite live performances from a show called The Masked Singer. If you haven't heard of The Masked Singer, it is a singing competition show based off of an original Korean show called The King of Masked Singer, which I have watched as well. This is a guessing game where a group of panelists try to figure out which celebrity is behind which mask. Usually the famous person that's unmasked ends up being a total surprise. It's a great show that I have kept up with since it aired. The costumes are always super fun. It's cool to hear people sing and perform so well while their identity is concealed. If you passed up the show, maybe some of these clips will encourage you to check the show out. So here are my top 10 performances from The Masked Singer. Number 10 is The Lambs. I had no idea who the Lambs were, but I was crazy in love with their costumes and voices. Even though I didn't know who was under these adorable lamb masks, I knew that they were huge stars. All three of them have such unique voices that work so well together. They are certainly a trio of pro singers. Their harmonies were always on point and blended effortlessly. I liked how they made each song their own and perfected their performances. You could tell that they practiced so hard too.
It's like praying on your wedding day. It's the zero.
I enjoyed their voices so much that I listened to more of their music after I found out who they were. I knew a couple of their songs already, but it's safe to say that I am now a fan of Wilson Phillips. Number 9 is the Peacock. The Peacock was unmasked as Donny Osmond. I'll be honest, I really didn't know who this was. I only knew of him, but never considered myself a fan simply because I didn't go out of my way to discover his music. Which was my loss because I really enjoyed watching him perform every time he got on stage. I mostly knew that he was very famous and sang as Shang in Mulan. Yep, his voice is the one that you hear in the song I'll Make a Man Out of You.
This is the greatest show. Wow.
After seeing him on the show, I went and learned some more about this super talented guy. I love his Broadway style voice and would be lucky to hear it live in person one day. I encourage you to check his music out. His voice is absolutely incredible. Number 8 was the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler was unmasked as Chris Daughtry. I loved this cute Roddy costume. I knew it was 100% someone I was a fan of. He was one of my top favorite singers from American Idol. All the moms, including mine, were absolutely in love with Chris Daughtry. I'm not a mom, but I am a huge Chris Daughtry fan. His voice is just soothing, to say the least. I liked that his first song choice threw everyone off because it wasn't his usual genre. This is my favorite song he performed on the show because it was the first one where you could really hear his signature smooth rock-style vocals. He is a wonderful musician. Number 7 is the Flamingo. The Flamingo ended up being Adrienne Bailon. She has a super powerful voice that always sounds pitch perfect. I have loved her ever since the Cheetah Girls, and her voice has only improved. This performance was one of the best live vocals I've ever heard. With her second performance, I was for sure it was that strong cheetah girl. I chose this song because it really showcased her beautiful voice just as I remembered it from the Disney Channel. She is a very successful singer and actress. I love just about everything she does. She's a really cool person, and if you don't know who Adrienne Bailon is, you've got some Googling to do. Number 6 is the Spider. The Spider was unmasked as Raven-Symoné. I have always thought Raven had a gorgeous voice. I literally wanted to be her growing up. It didn't take long for me to figure out it was her behind the spider mask. I definitely knew Raven's voice and was so excited to see her on the show. She performed this song so well and danced even with a broken arm. It proves how strong and determined she is. Not to mention talented. I've always admired Raven's smooth vocals and love her so much. She's one of my favorite actresses, and she's still absolutely amazing. I remain a giant fan of Raven's to this day as well. Harp is number 5. The Harp was Amber Riley. I couldn't figure out who this singer was and wasn't sure if I had ever heard this beautiful voice until she sang on this show. I liked how this costume fit Amber's unique voice and personality. I never really watched Glee, so I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to hear her sing before now. She has an incredible range too. After hearing her unbelievably attractive voice, I found myself looking up her scenes from Glee. I absolutely cannot wait to see what she does with her music career next, because she has a crazy good singing voice.
Don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt.
She has perfect pitch, and I would love to listen to anything she puts out. Number 4 is the Fox. The Fox was Wayne Brady. First of all, this was one of my favorite costumes on the show. Second of all, I love Wayne Brady so much. He was my favorite person on Whose Line Is It Anyways because he always made me laugh. I did have a very strong feeling this was him under the Fox mask since I've heard him sing on Whose Line Is It Anyways when I was younger. And I always thought he was a great singer, even though it was comedy. I also didn't know he could dance until seeing him in this show. I was excited every time he performed on The Masked Singer. Wayne Brady is truly a pro performer and nailed every song. Actually, he made every song even more amazing with his own versions. I would be ecstatic to see the chance to see him perform live, whether it's singing or dancing or comedy. I knew he was going to win the second season of this show. He worked so hard for it. Number 3 is the Monster. Under this mask, it was T-Pain. I didn't know right away who the singer was, but I eventually had T-Pain in mind. I have heard him sing before and was blown away by his beautiful voice. It's hard to believe he's known for auto-tune with such an amazing voice.
Stay with me, 'cause you're all I need.
Oh my god, he's amazing.
This ain't love, it's clear to see. So darling, stay with me, yeah.
T-Pain is super talented, and I hope he shares his powerful and wonderful voice with the world more. He deserved to win his season. His song choices he made each week were incredible and suited his voice perfectly. I enjoyed his version of this song, and it was no surprise he won the first season. The Sun is number 2. The Sun was unmasked as Leanne Rimes. I had to think about who I thought the person behind the bright sun was. I wasn't a big fan of hers in the past, but I knew who she was. I definitely liked her songs, I knew. After a couple of performances, I was confident that I matched the voice to the person. Leanne Rimes has one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard. I could listen to her sing flawlessly forever.
I can lie and say I like it like that, like it like that.
Because she performed every song so well on this show, it made it extremely hard to pick my top performance by this unbelievably talented singer. She had chosen great songs and killed them all. I chose this one because she sang without a track where you could hear her raw, astonishing vocals fill the stage. I really hope she continues to sing with her angelic voice and heavy emotions. And my number one pick for Masked Singer performances is the Turtle. The Turtle was unmasked as Jesse McCartney. This is my number one favorite performance from any season of this show. I don't think that will ever change. Within seconds of his very first performance on the show, I knew 1,000,000% that the voice behind that punky turtle was Jesse McCartney. The Jesse McCartney. Every performance by Jesse during that season was pitch perfect and entertaining. He is definitely an amazing musician and performer. I was such a fan of his growing up, and I'm glad he's still making music today.
Only I had known you had our storm to weather, so before you go.
I was just waiting on that Kingdom Hearts clue. Of course they saved that for the last clue. This is my all-time favorite performance from this show, hands down. I don't think it'll ever change. I get chills every time I hear his voice sing this song. You could feel his passion and emotion in this performance. I hope he continues putting out hits with his absolutely beautiful voice and soul. That wraps up my top 10 performances on The Masked Singer. I know there are a lot of great singers and performances that I missed this time. Let me know what you think and what your favorite performances are. That just means I'll have to make a part 2. I might even rank my favorite costumes from each season as well. Be on the lookout for it. I hope you enjoyed this ranking and look forward to my next video. As always, feel free to subscribe to keep up with the latest from Renshi Ranks and other fun Ren and Soul content. Thanks for watching.